I stared at it for a moment, watching the three dots that never came. That's the thing about endings. They're never loud. They just stop typing. My reply was short. I'm not your husband anymore. Don't come back. 5 minutes later, my phone lit up like a dying star. 50 missed calls, all hers, all too late. We were married 7 years. She used to smile with her whole face, eyes first, then lips. She smelled like vanilla and quiet mornings. I thought I'd found peace. I was wrong. It started small, a change in perfume, a locked phone, laughter that wasn't mine. I told myself not to become one of those men, paranoid, controlling. But love isn't blindness, it's faith. And faith is dangerous when you give it to a liar. The night I knew for sure, she came home smelling like whiskey and someone else's cologne. She claimed she'd been with friends from work. She didn't notice the security camera I'd installed 2 days earlier, just above the garage light. When I watched the footage, it wasn't the kiss that broke me. It was the way she looked at him, like I never existed. I didn't confront her, not then. Anger burns fast. I needed something slower, something permanent. I started with her phone. She never realized the cloud sync was shared with my account. Every photo, every text, every whisper sent to that man dripped into my inbox like poison. He was her boss, married, predictable. I spent 3 months preparing, moved funds quietly, sold the house under her nose, paperwork signed digitally, signatures she'd approved without reading. The proceeds went to a trust under my sister's name. I canceled the joint accounts one by one, left her enough for groceries, enough to believe nothing was wrong. Meanwhile, I built a story, evidence, dates, receipts, screen captures, hotel bookings, call logs, all neatly cataloged. I didn't just want revenge. I wanted truth, undeniable and unerasable. The night before it happened, she told me she might be home late again. She said it casually, eyes on her phone, thumb twitching. I nodded, told her I'd be making dinner. She didn't notice the small envelope on her side of the bed. Inside, photos. Not of them together, just her car parked outside his apartment, time-stamped, dated, and printed. On the back of the last photo, I wrote, "Tomorrow is the end." At 6 p.m. the next day, she texted, the same line she'd sent 100 times before. "I'm not your property. I'll be late. Don't call." That was her mistake. Routine, repetition, predictability. My reply was the final line of the story I'd already written. "I'm not your husband anymore. Don't come back." Then I hit send all. Every photo, every message, every time-stamped proof, forwarded to her family, his wife, and the HR department of their company. 15 emails in total, each one precise, clean, surgical. The first call came 30 seconds later, then another and another. By the 5th, I turned off the ringer. By the 50th, the phone vibrated itself to the edge of the table. I let it fall. I imagined her standing in his apartment, staring at her phone as the world burned around her. Her face draining of color, the walls closing in. Him panicking, whispering, "We can fix this," while his wife read her inbox. Some people think revenge is loud. It isn't. It's silence. It's the space between a message sent and a life collapsing. She came home anyway, around midnight. Her mascara had bled down to her chin, eyes wide and frantic. She found the front door locked, her key useless. I watched from the upstairs window, lights off. "Please," she whispered through the door, voice cracking. "We can talk." I didn't move, didn't speak. She pounded harder, calling my name. Then the crying started. I waited until she stopped, until her shadow disappeared from the porch. By morning, it was done. Her company fired both of them, zero tolerance for internal affairs. His wife filed for divorce. So did I. The papers had already been signed and time-stamped 2 weeks earlier. All I needed was her absence. When I walked out that morning, suitcase in hand, I passed the empty space where her car used to be. She'd sold it months ago to pay for new beginnings. I smiled at the irony. I didn't do it because she cheated. I did it because she lied with such ease, because she made me doubt my own mind, my worth. Betrayal isn't about sex. It's about rewriting reality until you forget what's true. Now, I remember everything. The scent of vanilla, the sound of her laugh, the way she said, "I love you," like punctuation. They're memories now, sterile, harmless. She took what she wanted. I took back what was mine. Control. Last week, she texted again. "Can we talk?" I didn't reply. Some ghosts deserve no audience. I deleted her number, watched it vanish from the screen, and whispered to the empty room, "You were right. I'm not your property. You never were mine either."